in fact, their beloved Nana's brother? Which would make him their great-uncle? Perhaps. I have no way to confirm this theory. Whatever the case, the Baruna cousins became involved in not one, but two more robberies. The ledger containing Mr. Curators' entry went missing from the Crystal Palace. 4 hourglasses disappeared from the Great Library of Alexandria and were used to restore the lost memories of Miss Clive, Mr. Curators, and the Baruna cousins. Their names were crossed out of their respective ledgers by an unknown person, and they were sent home. Most of my colleagues consider this outcome disastrous. I myself am not so sure. It felt much more like a happy ending to me. On a related note, I have received several verbal complaints from citizens about the current memory repository system. They do not believe it is fair. I am beginning to agree and propose that we bring up the subject for review at the next committee meeting. 1. Marisol. It was a perfect day to get lost. Marisol Contreras Baruna leaned over the ferry's railing, letting alpine air thread through her hair as she peered into the waters below. Lake Titicaca was much clearer than the waves off Folly Beach, so clear that she could see the reflection of the sky on its surface and the killifish weaving through the green weeds just beneath. As the boat pulled away from the dock, Marisol stared even harder, trying to see traces of a lost city below. Wanaku. When she and her cousin Jake had been stuck inside the world between blinks nearly 6 whole months ago, they'd wandered through the lost parts of this underwater city, breathing with the aid of the enchanted bubbler charms strung on their necklaces. Fish swam around the cousins' heads and llamas strolled past, their fur swishing with the currents. The brightly woven fabrics floating around Wanaku's other inhabitants made Marisol feel at home. Now it was the opposite. Marisol was home. Well, she was on vacation with her family at Copacabana, but she was still in Bolivia, still on Earth for that matter. Marisol was home, and she wanted to see something that made her feel like she was back in the world between blinks. She was itching for another adventure. Life had gone back to normal after her summer at Nana's house. She'd flown home to La Paz, where the calendar filled up with school and Saturdays spent rock climbing with Dad and FaceTime calls with Jake. These things were fine, but they didn't make her heart race or her fingers tingle. They didn't make her feel magical. The boat began picking up speed, and soon the water was too deep to see any hints of a lost civilization. "Don't fall in, Reina. It's a long swim to Isla del Sol." Her mother had made the family wear life jackets, even though most of the other tourists didn't bother, and Victor wasn't anywhere near the water. Her older brother sat in the center of the boat, slouched so his life jacket reached his ears, and his feet sprawled for miles. He was so busy tapping on his phone that Marisol wasn't even sure he knew they'd left the dock. "I'll be careful," Marisol promised as she played with her necklace. The bubbler that helped her breathe underwater didn't work on this side of the unknown. The charm's magic had stayed in the world between blinks, so now it was just a fish scale hanging on the chain beside her other charms. There was a small scroll, a monocle, and an hourglass, too. She kept them tucked under her shirt, mostly because of Victor, who'd snorted when he noticed her strange jewelry. "Why would you want to wear a bunch of junk? You look like one of Nana's display cabinets." This was supposed to be an insult, but thinking about their grandmother's sprawling collections of seashells and stamps and sugar spoons made Marisol's heart swell. "I love Nana's cabinets," she'd replied. Her older brother wore a bewildered look. "You're lucky our new distant cousin Christopher does, too. I still can't believe he wants to keep Nana's beach house the way it is after paying so much money for it." Marisol knew this wasn't luck.